Welcome back guys, and new week, new game, and today we have Botany Manor. It'll be unfair to compare my experience with this game with that I thought it would be. What I hoped it would be. Even more unfair would be to try to draw comparisons with the recent titans like Outwilds or Return to the Opera Den. Admittedly though, with the mechanics and visual design and innovative rock-solid concept that Botany Manor intuitively presents, I find the unrealized potential that this game has to be almost tragic. It's easy to see the game with the exact same mechanics and environmental interactions, taking a few cues from some other beloved titles, and positioning itself as a GOTY contender with staying power. Only worse that the potential this game has in my imagination are the frequent ways the game filters and even demonstrates flashes of first-person puzzle brilliance, only to cut away in favor of a far more linear, miserably dispensed experience. First, the good, because there's a lot of it here. I recommend this because of its solid foundation, and I know there is a right audience for titles like this. Like you might assume or glean from a trailer and already published reviews, you're needing to grab a different species of flora, using the environmental for clues as to how to meet each plant's particular needs to grow. Players will read clues from the items scattered around, or examined by player interactions, in order to determine where to plop down your seed pod to successfully get a bloom and tick it off your list. Each plant to grow can be thought of its own way, very self-contained puzzle, with many of the clues taken from the form of written or drawn works, notes, letters, charts, advertisements, etc., that the player will pick up. Need to remember the details of and at times employ some genuine observations of lateral thinking skills to put together to make progress. There are elements of great puzzle problem design in no shortage here. If I were to try to explain to a brand newcomer why I love games like this as a genre, I'd probably suggest the game was one of the very first they should check out. I have to give a special shout to the vibrant and colorful environments and the subtle narrative pieces that the player is cleverly routed to go through the gameplay, giving what I think is a worthwhile story to tell. As for my critiques, I wouldn't want to play a backseat dev or give too many spoilers in giving all my thoughts, but I can say that the experience is meticulously curated. Though the manor is fully explorable, there is almost no openness to the proceeding. What do I mean? As you progress, you open up new areas of the manor, but you are almost exclusively walking within newly accessed areas. Almost is there any reason to truly backtrack? Not for clues, not for elements needed to grow your plants, not for anything. I remember two decent examples of callback giving a view clue that sends the player back to where they were once to access a new area, but with what's in isolation and with scarcely obvious clues, you're funneled that way and denied your aha moment. For me, the greater scenes in this game comments that I really didn't think it had to, was the way progress is compromised. You never have the more than 3 real plants to be hunting for clues how to grow at once. You have to bookend this ridiculously divided into chapters, each corresponding with new areas of the menu to access. You're literally just a ability meld a lateral key to new rooms after almost each completed minute to plant list, which you have to leave the main menu and waddle all the way to the gatehouse to retrieve each time. You aren't even allowed to see the silhouettes of plant in the pages of chapters ahead. They are literally blank while you're working on the current chapter. Not that it would matter if you were looking for an open experience, because after the first few milestones, you know that all new plants with all their clues are going to be neatly contained with the boundaries of the newly accessible areas. It's better to think of the game as 4 very miniature and pared-down open experiences, but what's worse is that even within new sections, plants and their clues are pretty tightly grouped locationally with a few very obviously intentional exceptions. When I talk about clever puzzle problem design, I mean that almost none of it comes from location clues or needing to know to which of your 3-4 open plants it refers, which is one of the many missed opportunities. The experience as a whole was still enjoyable, but dispensed in such small chunks that some of the interesting design is lost. I say this is so the future players know what kind of experience they get. The only other fair critique I think there is to level the buffing inclusion of a rothhold like of chance of center system where after you've seen a clue, you can assign it to the right plant of your 3-4 open plants if you're in a book. None of my other critiques here are fair or belong here is still largely in what could have been or spoiler categories. Though, in short, I can say that the first tutorial plant, which I'd rather find, is